Retirement investing is not supposed to feel like flying a fighter jet, but for many people, that's exactly what it becomes. Too many stocks, too many funds, too many strategies stacked on top of each other. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Complexity doesn't protect retirees. It hurts them. Every extra moving part is another thing that can break, right when you need your money the most. In retirement, your job is no longer to chase speed. Your job is to avoid crashes. Think of your retirement money like a house during winter. You don't care how fancy it looks. You care about three things. First, the heat must stay on every month. Second, the walls must not collapse. Third, rising costs outside must not slowly freeze you inside. Income, capital protection, inflation resistance. And to achieve all three, you don't need 10 assets. You don't need 5. If you're retired or close to retirement, you only need 2 financial engines working quietly in the background. Think of bonds as the paycheck you build for yourself in retirement. Not junk bonds, not risky emerging markets, not complicated bond funds. We're talking about investment-grade corporate bonds, loans to strong, well-known companies that have one legal obligation: pay you interest on time. Right now, these bonds yield roughly 5 to 7%. If you invest $500,000, you receive about $25,000 to $35,000 every year, paid whether the stock market is calm or chaotic. With $1 million, that's $50,000 to $70,000 per year in predictable income. For many retirees, that alone covers housing, food, utilities, and insurance. Stocks promise growth someday. Bonds promise payment today. Bond prices move, but if you hold them to maturity, you get your principal back at par value. To reduce risk even further, retirees use a bond ladder. Different bonds mature each year, usually over 8 to 10 years. Every year, cash comes back to you. You can spend it or reinvest it if interest rates rise. That's why bonds are the foundation engine of retirement. If bonds are the concrete foundation, dividend stocks are the trees planted on top of it. They grow slowly, they survive storms, and they keep producing fruit year after year. But retirees don't need exciting stocks. They need reliable businesses. Companies that sell things people can't stop buying: electricity, food, medicine, phone service. That's why dividend stocks work best in defensive sectors: utilities, consumer staples, healthcare, and telecommunications. Quality dividend stocks today yield about 3 to 5%, but the real power is growth. Many of these companies have increased their dividends for 25, 30, even 50 consecutive years. Historically, dividend income grows 3 to 6% annually, often matching or beating inflation. So while bond income stays steady, dividend income slowly rises. You don't need to pick one perfect stock. Retirees spread risk across 20 to 30 dividend payers or use low-cost dividend ETFs. Bonds pay today, dividends protect tomorrow. Once you understand the two engines, the next question is simple. How do you mix them? There's no perfect allocation, only the one you can sleep with. Conservative retirees often choose 70% bonds and 30% dividend stocks. Balanced retirees prefer 50-50. This mix typically produces 4 to 6% annual income. On a $1 million portfolio, that's $40,000 to $60,000 per year without selling assets. More aggressive retirees may choose 30% bonds and 70% dividends, accepting more volatility for higher income growth. No market timing, no daily decisions. You set the mix, rebalance occasionally, and let the engines do the work. One of the biggest retirement mistakes is believing you need more activity to be safe. You don't. Growth stocks without dividends don't pay the bills. Speculation increases stress, not security. Real estate means repairs, tenants, and concentration risk. That's not freedom. That's another job. Options and leverage add unnecessary danger. And then there are fees. A 1% annual advisor fee on a $1 million portfolio can quietly cost $250,000 to $300,000 over 20 years. That's money you worked decades to earn. Gold produces no income. Annuities lock money with high fees. In retirement, simplicity is risk management. This strategy is also tax smart. Bonds often belong in tax-deferred accounts like IRAs. Dividend stocks work well in taxable accounts where qualified dividends receive lower tax rates. During the 2008 crisis, dividend stocks kept paying. Bonds provided stability. During 2020, the same thing happened. This income-first approach allows retirees to keep spending without selling assets at the worst possible time. Dividend stocks receive a step up in cost basis for heirs. Bonds are easy to transfer or hold to maturity. Clean, simple, predictable. Retirement is not about beating the market. It's about never being forced to sell when the market is down. Bonds give certainty. Dividend stocks give growth. Together, they generate 4 to 6% income, protect capital, and fight inflation. You don't need excitement. You need reliability. A simple bond ladder, a diversified group of quality dividend payers, allocated to your comfort level. That's how savings becomes security. That's how retirement stays peaceful. In retirement, winning means staying calm, staying invested, and staying in